Hey everyone, it's me, Wilco the Kreij here. Hope you're all doing amazing. And do you know what day today is? Today is video ad day, and that means that today I'm going to record a lot of different video ads for our business to grow our business. Because as you probably know, I run two businesses. One is UpViral. You can check it out at upviral.com. Second one is connectio.io. And in order to get more clients into our business, we are obviously using all kinds of different strategies, right? So for example, we are viral hacking. We're using UpViral to get people to share our business with their friends. We're using Facebook ads to get clients in as well, obviously using the Connectio tools. And specifically about Facebook ads, obviously, if you want to create if you want to run Facebook ads, you need to create Facebook ads, right? And the easiest thing to do is just write a text, create a photo or an image, and that's it. But what's working way better, at least for us, is video ads, right? Now, a video ad on Facebook, obviously, is a bit more work, but like I said, it's way better. And sometimes it just takes a lot of creativity to get a good Facebook video ad, to see which one works and which one doesn't. So since today is video ad day, which means today I'm going to record a bunch of new ads, I figured I'm going to just take you all on the journey of what that actually means. This video, the one that you're currently watching, might be a little bit more chaotic. My apologies for that, but I'll promise there's some good insights for sure. So what I'm going to do today, I've already thought about some of the ads I'm going to do, and I'm going to do as much of them as in one day. And the reason why I want to do that is because, quite frankly, it just saves a lot of time. Like if you want to do new ads every single week or something like that, it's totally possible, but I prefer to just block out a day. So probably more like half a day, because over the next couple of days I'll be away in the US. Tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. I'm flying off. So I have to get a lot of stuff done today as well. So more like half a day, but still I want to get a lot of ads done today, videos done today. So before we go into the fun stuff, one thing I wanted to share as well is that one of the things that I noticed that works really, really well. Actually, the story behind that was a while back, our ads were doing pretty well. I was happy with that. And at some point I had a call with someone from Facebook, right? And they were like, hey, you want to go through your ad account? I'm like, sure, like why not? Doesn't hurt, right? He started talking about how our video ads did, and he pointed out like, do you know the average time people check or watch your videos? I was like, no clue. That's not the number I was looking for. I was looking at ROI or like things like that, right? And he said it was like something like 6 or 7 seconds, something like that. I'm like, wait a second. Until that point, I thought our ads were performing because of our videos. Turns out they're performing well in spite of our videos. Like, didn't really matter. And that's from that point onwards I realized, like, all right, it's actually the first couple seconds that make by far the biggest difference, right? Because of that, I started testing more, and one of our successful ads that we've been running is something where we used a little bit of trickery, and I'll show you that right now.
Can your website clone visitors? So every time you get a visitor, you would get 2 who turn into 4.
So as you can see, like obviously that was not real, right? It was me on the couch, and all of a sudden there was like 2, 3, 4 people on that couch, all me. And because of that, it just stands out, right? It just like if you're browsing on Facebook and it's something like, hey, how's that possible, right? At least that's my theory. So today, what I want to do is besides of the videos like on itself, like the video ads, what they should be about, I want to try to make them stand out by doing some trickery, right? And I know that's not for everyone, because you need to hire someone to actually do those edits, because I would never be able to create those edits myself. But what I'm going to try to do today is I'm going to try to record the right videos so that someone else could do those kind of tricks. So that's the journey I want to bring you all on today. So let's move over to my PC and I'll see you there. All right, so let's jump right in and bring you up to speed about what I've been doing so far, right? So before I figured out that the first couple seconds were more important, what I always used to do is I created a bunch of different video ads or like complete new videos. And it was actually a lot of work, right? Because if you want to create like 5 new ads, you have to create like 5 new complete videos. Again, a lot of work. And after I realized that it's actually the first couple of seconds that make the biggest impact, what I now always do is I basically, let's see if this is the timeline of your video. I'm just drawing it out here roughly, right? So this is like the start, and this would be like, usually I go for like a 3-minute video, 3 or 4 minute video. That's for me sort of the sweet spot to give enough meaning to it, to actually say something meaningful in that time, because if it's shorter, it's hard. If it's longer, it's just boring, right? So instead of creating a 3-4 minute video ad, what I actually do is I create multiple introductions of like the first, let's say 30 seconds, right? And I make sure that it actually, I end at a point where I can just link it to the remaining part. So I create 1 or sometimes 2 or sometimes 3, but like usually 1 or 2 main parts of the video ad, right? And I just create a bunch of different introductions, right? Now what we're going to do is we're going to add them all together. So this introduction with this one is 1 video. If we have 2 main sections, then automatically it's like what this introduction will also be matched with this main part, right? So that's 2 videos. So this would be a video. And that way you can save a lot of time. And usually it's like, again, one of the introductions or sometimes 2 of the introductions that really stand out and grab the attention of the audience, which is going to result in a higher quality score, like lower CPM and just better conversions overall, right? So that's what we're going to do today as well. Now, also, I've been thinking, right, again, this first part is really about grabbing the attention. That's definitely the important part. Has to be relevant though. Like if it grabs the attention of just everyone, it's gonna, like, that's not gonna work. It needs to grab the attention of your ideal audience. So in my case, these ads that I'm gonna create today are for viral. So these are for business owners, right? People who have a business or who have a website that, like, I want them to say like, hey, that's actually me, right? And then in this section, I really wanna, like, I want to make sure that they join a training session. Like in this case, this ad I'm going to create today is not, you know, to sell them something right away, but it's to get them into a training session, because on the training session, I can then, you know, I have more time to just dive into what viral is, like how viral hacking works, share some case studies, share success stories, and then I can make them an offer. So like, hey, you know, because you're on this training session, you can actually join right now, like, and then have a special offer, some kind of a bonus right there to make it more interesting to actually join. But initially the ad, I'm not trying to sell. I'm not even mentioning a viral at all. All I'm doing is, you know, talk about the, you know, the fact that you can do viral hacking, the fact that you can get people to actually start sharing. And also, just a quick tip for those who are creating video ads. What I noticed, like, obviously, like in the past, you can just run an ad and basically make it all about, hey, join my training or buy my product or whatever it is. These days, you can do that, right? It has to be, first of all, value. Like, there has to be value in there. People need to actually enjoy watching your video, so it has to be valuable. Plus, it also needs to be entertaining. Like, if your video ad is boring, like, people don't like boring, right? So you want to make sure that people engage with it, people comment on it, people like it, people genuinely do need to like it, and it shouldn't be like some kind of a slick ad that just there to just get people to click on it. Like, even if they don't take action, they should enjoy watching it, and that's something that Facebook definitely favors. So that's always something to take into account, and that's why we always try to put some like jokes in there just to make it like lighten the mood a little bit. So in order to grab the attention, I've been thinking like, how do I actually do that? Again, you can say something funny, but hey, you have to be funny in order to do that. So you can say something funny, or again, you can do some like special trickery, special effects. Now, I personally, I'm not an editor. I wouldn't know how to do it. So that's why we use YouTube, right? So I've been looking online, I've been checking out some videos to do those kind of edits. Like, and I've just been looking like, hey, what are people doing in terms of special effects? And you know, how does it even work? So for example, I saw this right here. As you can see right here, he's like super big in his own garage. I'm like that's something weird. That's really weird. So I'm like, if we can do that as well, if I can be that big, that could be something that I can use in one of the ads. And the reason why I wanted to do that is because, you know, again, it stands out, but ultimately you don't just want to stand out for the sake of standing out. You want to make it relevant. So I was like, all right, like this is something that I can make relevant to viral, right? Because like, hey, you want to fill up your website with more traffic and leads, and then you can fit something along those lines. So you can make an ad relevant to what a trick is. So really what I'm doing right now is just browsing on YouTube for all kind of trickery and stuff that people are doing with editing. And I'm like, how can we do that? Like, for example, right here, they're doing like cloning with a green screen. I happen to have a green screen. I never used it, but I thought it would be cool to use. So let's try that out as well. So I just been going through YouTube, getting inspiration of like what kind of cool tricks we can do. And let's see if that's gonna work. Yeah, and I'll ask the editor to put some stuff of what I'm doing today in this video as well, so you have a bit of a glimpse of what it all takes. All right, so I just walked into the studio. This is where we're gonna do most of our recording, or not all of the recording, but some of our recording. I'm actually gonna start out easy. As you can see, it is a big mess right now, probably. There's all kinds of stuff in here. Like here's the main camera, got the lights over there set up. Right here we got our logos in the background, which really is just to cover up. There's some light in the background. Usually this is where I do training, and got the whiteboard, got the TV right there, so I can just roll them over right here in front of the camera. Now today, like I mentioned, I'm gonna record some ads. Some of them are gonna be here in the studio. As you can see, we're doing some tricks and I was testing it out. Like I just been taping a green screen onto my iPad just so that we can actually put something on the iPad afterwards. Like they apparently, like if it's green, you can edit it more easily. So this is like paper on the top of my iPad, you can see. So that's what it takes to be an entrepreneur, like taping paper on an iPad. So I just pulled out the green screen. It's actually pretty cool. You can just put it like up and down like this. So I'm currently doing some extra shots because in one of our ads, like I'm always thinking about, you know, adding meaning, as I mentioned before, right? And in one of our ads I want to clone, like the one I showed you just earlier as well. So in order for me to be multiple times on one screen, the way we do that is I stand here in front of the green screen, right? It's being recorded with that camera, that one over there, there. And then my idea is, I'm not sure if it's gonna work, I'm just trying things out. I'm just gonna stand here, and I'm gonna stand here, and I'm gonna stand here, and all the magically, we turn it into one ad. So that's what I'm currently shooting for, and I'll keep you all posted. That was a tough afternoon. I just been recording a bunch of ads, and one thing I didn't realize earlier today when I started recording this video for all of you is that obviously I'd be using my phone while I'm recording the ads. So unfortunately, I haven't really been able to record videos while I was recording the ads, kind of like Inception. So what I'm gonna do, I'll add in some snippets of during the day of the ads that we were creating. But I do have to be honest, even though it was just a few hours, I'm exhausted. Like personally, I'm not an extrovert kind of guy, right? And I know a lot of people probably think like, oh, but you're here on camera, it all seems nice and it seems like you're doing this naturally. No, I definitely don't. Like every time, for example, every time I do a webinar, like a live training, I need to go to bed straight after. It completely exhausts me. Some people get energy from it, not me. Like today I've been doing videos for a couple hours. I like it, like it's fun to do, not on camera, but like the nitty-gritty tricks, that part I like. And just thinking about, and again, that's really the nerd in me, right? I can imagine if you're watching this, that you're like, oh yeah, I need to create video ads as well. But like, first of all, Wilco has all this gear. And secondly, like Wilco is you know, able to do it. Like he's been doing it for a while. Two things. First of all, the gear, right? A bunch of my videos actually record with my iPhone. So really, you don't need more than iPhone. You can have more gear, but even those lights, I bought them when I was doing videos in my grandmother's basement, and that's 6, 7, 8 years ago. I bought them like 7 or 8 years ago, so not expensive at all, right? Like for audio cue, I use my iPad. Put my iPad. You don't need that, but especially for me, like I said, I'm not as confident in video, so usually I'll just have an iPad right here, and then it mirrors with a bit of glass right here, and then boom, I can just read it as if I'm reading the news. But really, you don't need to get any of that fancy gear at all. Like literally right now, what you're looking at the video is just my iPhone without an external microphone or anything like that. So don't need to be fancy. Secondly, if you're not certain about being on camera, if you watch me being on camera for the first times, like it's so embarrassing. Like and even today, if I watch videos, like I'm embarrassed. I'll tell you something. Actually, up until last year, I banned, blocked for my YouTube account and my Facebook account the whole of the Netherlands. The whole country where I live, I blocked it just to make sure none of my friends or my family would be able to see it. I'm not kidding. It was only after one of my coaches told me like, dude, that's a limiting belief, you just need to let that go. And I tried it out, but I'm so embarrassed by all of my videos. So even I promise you, if you're gonna create a video, you are gonna be embarrassed by it yourself. Doesn't matter how good you are. Like I'm embarrassed by it as well. That doesn't matter. Like just get it out there, because most likely other people are gonna enjoy it, or you can add value to it. It's not even about how good the video is. It's about what you actually say and practice. You know, it's all about practice. So my apologies for making this a bit of more of a chaotic video, but I just wanted to give you a quick sneak peek into what's sort of happening behind the scenes to get ads created. And I'll see you all in another video. Cheers.